Thank you very much for coming before our committee. We're thankful that you came before our committee.
Thank you.
Look forward to your testimony.
My name is Pamela Martin. I'm from Plymouth. ISO New England recently released a study entitled Energy Efficiency Forecast, which reports electricity consumption in all New England states is decreasing. New Hampshire's all-time peak demand was set in 2006. And I have a copy of this, and I would like to submit it. Before I do, though, I just want to read one thing. It was on page 22. It says, New Hampshire, the energy efficiency forecast projects lower demand levels. As a result, 10 upgrades of transmission lines and other equipment can be deferred to years beyond 2020. So I would like to submit this.
The committee very much appreciates your written testimony. Thank you very much.
I have something else to say.
Oh, certainly. You still have another minute.
Thank you. Yet despite the fact that consumers are taking steps to be more energy efficient and electricity consumption continues to decrease, multiple energy projects are being introduced with no consideration of the impact on New Hampshire. Industrial wind projects are sprouting up like mushrooms, even though it has been shown over and over again that New Hampshire doesn't have enough wind or consistent wind to make these projects economical, but they do destroy property values, tourism dollars, and the bird and bat populations. Northern Pass and these industrial wind projects are dividing the state into warring factions. The Chambers of Commerce in southern New Hampshire don't want anything to get in their way of so-called cheap electricity. The Chambers of Commerce in Plymouth and Littleton and further north are opposed because of the economic impact they see that's already happening in the lakes, regions, and mountains. One objection you will hear today will be that we shouldn't change the rules after they've already been started in the process. We shouldn't change horses in the middle of the stream. This isn't a stream, this is a raging river, a tsunami of projects coming our way. There are at least 4 major energy proposals aimed at the lakes, regions, and mountains which have the potential of changing the landscape of New Hampshire forever. Right now is precisely the time to address these issues. To wait would be catastrophic. They will say that a moratorium would be bad message for business. These energy proposals are already having a negative effect on existing businesses, and that's why the Central and Northern Chambers of Commerce voted against Northern Pass. The union leader had an article the other day about possible brownouts in New England, but New Hampshire has more electricity than we need. It's southern New England that wants more electricity, not New Hampshire. I believe in helping a neighbor, but if not, if it means economic suicide for New Hampshire. So if New Hampshire doesn't need the electricity, New Hampshire isn't presently getting any of the renewable credits from their industrial wind projects, and large-scale hydro isn't even designated as renewable for the state of New Hampshire. So those credits from Northern Pass will go to Connecticut and Massachusetts along with electricity. Why in the world would New Hampshire agree to any of these projects?
2 minutes.
We're getting absolutely nothing but a scar down the center of our state and ruined ridgelines. As the Romans say, cui bono, who benefits? We don't, and they do. I'm asking for a moratorium on all electricity projects until a fair and responsible energy policy has been formulated, which does not sacrifice one part of the state for the benefit of another. A policy that promotes energy efficiency rather than encourages waste and increased consumption. A policy which takes into consideration New Hampshire's economic dependence upon tourism, property values, and our New England character and way of life. An energy policy which doesn't designate New Hampshire as a renewable energy provider and power corridor for Massachusetts and Connecticut so that they don't have to approve Cape Wind or any other unsightly power projects in their beautiful states.
Thank you so much for your testimony. I cannot read the person's name very well. It's Gina Neely. Thank you very much for coming before us, Gina.
You like me? I'm short and sweet. My testimony.
Very nice.
Take hardly a minute. Here, Gavin. Hello, my name is Gina Neely. This is my son Gavin.
Hello, Gavin. Have a seat.
I'm here today to speak on behalf of my family and many other families in New Hampshire that share our same predicament. My husband and I live in Deerfield with our 3 children and my elderly father. We live on 10 acres of land and have spent the last decade cultivating our property so that we now have vegetable gardens, orchards, honeybees, and chickens. We are a family of modest means. Our home is our largest asset. 3 years ago, we learned that our home was in the path of a new project that proposed to bring transmission lines to the state of New Hampshire. These privately owned industrial-sized transmission lines would run directly beside our home. We've asked ourselves, what are we going to do? We love our home, but we need to protect our children. It did not take long to see that our choices were limited. Our home was on the market for some time, And though we had lots of showings, people were scared off the minute they heard about the project. Our realtor explained to us that to sell our home, we would have to price it well below its original value. Now we live in limbo, waiting to see if this project will receive its permits, hesitant to invest any more into the home that may have more value. Our story is just one of many. Senate Bill 99 would protect New Hampshire. It would protect our tourism trade, but it would also protect families like ours. Thank you for giving me the chance to have my voice heard.
Thank you very much for coming before our committee.